and I believe I'm audible to all of you. छोटी मोटी चीज़ें खुद कर रहा हूँ, प्रयास कर रहा हूँ ताकि आपके सामने लाइव आ जाऊँ in a proper way. Okay, this light is irritating here. इसको यूं कर देते हैं. It's light. Uh, Very good evening, all of you. This is Vineet Pandey, and as it is a live from my home, so I'm arranging all the audio devices and all of the things in my own way. Now, I'll also have to check the voice if the voice is coming. Let me just check the voice here. This is the thing when you work alone, you are a lone wolf, and you have to check each and everything on your own. So we have 29 students, and sorry for unofficial way of teaching, but this is my home, this is my bedroom, and here I don't have any assistant, but I have my knowledge, I have the word, and I'll teach you. So now we are done with exam. Exam खत्म हो गया है और अब सवाल आ रहे हैं, okay, let's target June 2024. अब June 2024 target करना है. Many of you are going to attempt June 2024. But the question is from where to start? Start कहां से करें? पहला टॉपिक कौन सा पढ़ें? There are 10 units, and in all these units, there are different topics. Okay, it is audible. So, this session is actually dedicated to how to start British history of English literature. When you start British history of English literature, the first age that comes is Anglo Saxon age. पहली age आएगी Anglo Saxon age. Now all the students who are studying for first time, the beginner student जो पहली बार पढ़ेंगे, Anglo Saxon age is taken as the first age of English literature. ये first age है. First age. Why? We talk about England. What is England? England क्या है? जैसे अगर हम इंडिया की बात करें तो what is India today? So India was not India. Before independence, India was divided in many states, provinces, big areas covered by the Mughals, then the Marathas, then the others. Rajasthan was dominated by the Rajputs. But when the Britishers left us in 1947, it is said that we had around 547 provinces. 547 रियासतें थी. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and some other great leaders, they compiled, collected all those states and finally formed India. So when you talk about England or Britain, it was not the England actually when we were studying. शुरुआत में कोई इंग्लैंड नहीं था. छोटी छोटी colonies, छोटे छोटे areas, they were all surrounded like this. And these different areas which were actually around the river Thames. लंदन की इंग्लैंड की सबसे फेमस नदी है थेम्स. इसके आसपास छोटी छोटी टेरिटरीज थी. All these territories were ruled by hundreds of tribes. और इन छोटे छोटे जगहों पे कौन रहता था? इन छोटी छोटी जगहों पे all these areas were in the control of tribals. So these tribals had the control of small patches of the land called multiple areas. They had their own names. There was a tribe called Ingla. Ingla. Some people in the books written by the Indian writers, they will be called angels. So Inglas or angels, you can take it in your way. आप जैसा चाहो वैसे नाम ले सकते हो. Let's see how many of you are live here. 46 student live, only 13 likes. Come on, go for likes. So the Ingla tribe or the angels, they used to live in an area called Ingla land. The Ingla land, which was like having the people called angels. Indian writers, Indian publications, Indian writers writing in English, they go for the word angels. They are also called Inglas. Ingla land. Inglas living in this area called land, Ingla land, it will become England. Now, before this Anglo-Saxon thing, who are the other people here? What are the other tribes? We are talking about the very first ancient history. मैं आपको zero से पढ़ा रहा हूं. As you must have read in many books that the timing of Anglo-Saxon start with 450. 450, this is very important time because when England or Inglas were living here, in Inglas, they were living here. Along with Inglas, there were so many other tribes. Judes, Rovers, Vikings, Scandinavians. Remember the names of these tribes. Mercians, Frisians, and a lot more. Saxons, Normans, and a lot more. Now, these tribes were there, but at 450, this timing is really very important. So please remember the timing. And I'm sorry for my sore throat. 450, Saxons came and attacked Ingla land. Saxons came and attacked Ingla land. So, I hope you have written these things. Let's get back. It is a classroom style. The only thing that is missing from the classroom style is my good voice. Sore throat is irritating me. The change of the weather, and I had a long drive of Udaipur in 4 days. 14, 15 hours driving. While I was returning, it became 16, 17 hour driving. But I was in Udaipur. So, 450, the tribe called Saxons who actually belong to Old Germany, Old Germanic tribe. What is Saxons? Old Germanic tribe. These Saxons attacked England land. When did they attack in England? 450 AD. 450 AD is the time when the Saxons come to England. If it comes in exam as a question, it can trouble you. अगर ये पेपर में क्वेश्चन आ गया, क्वेश्चन आएगा एंग्लो सेक्शंस में सेक्शंस इंग्लैंड में आए कब? तो यहां पे कंफ्यूजन होगा बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल गो फॉर नॉर्मन्स ओनली. बहुत कम लोग एंग्लो सेक्शंस में सेक्शंस को पढ़ रहे होते हैं. सो 450 sections came to England land. They had a fight. Now, the reference of two different cultures, two different armies fighting together, what happens? Gradually, they learn to live together. They learn to survive together. Mughals came in India. We used to fight with them. Gradually, we started living together. Britishers came to India. We had an issue. For 200 years, Britishers were with us. And a lot of Britishers are still in India. A famous example, Staying On, a Booker Award book written by Paul Scott. Question in net exam, question in Maharashtra set exam. Staying On, written by Paul Scott, which is a Booker Award book, deals with the Britishers living in India after 1947. So, 450 Anglos and Saxons, they started living together. So, here it becomes Anglo-Saxons. Here it becomes Anglo-Saxons. Saxons and Anglas living together becomes Anglo-Saxons. First point has been made clear. It's a clear point now. Now, I think आप में से कुछ लोगों ने like किया होगा. You must have appreciated this thing. Okay, only 48 students are there, right? Oh, 148. Or maybe my eyes are not good. So, this point is clear. But then, sir, we have read in books there is 650. Some books say that it is 650 where Anglo-Saxon age starts. आप तो 450 पढ़ा रहे हो. Yes, I'm teaching 450 because if everybody is reading 650 and the other durations, we should know more than them. Now, what is the idea of 650 AD? We have done 450 AD. हमने 450 AD पढ़ा है. This is competition. If you have to win, you need to study more than others. You need to know more than others. 650 is the time When Anglo Saxons, first point. When did Anglo-Saxon Empire was actually formed? 450. Sections came, fought, started living together. Anglo-Saxon became a proper tribe. But 450 to 650, approx 200 years, the regular clashes were going on, the regular war was going on, the regular scuffles, issues were going on. There were hundreds of tribes. Remember? Fighting for property, fighting for wealth, fighting for ego issues is in human history. They used to fight. 200 years they kept on fighting, but in 650, Anglo-Saxons defeated everyone and proved a strong identity, a strong existence. In 650, Anglo-Saxons emerged as a strong tribe. They were controlling all the tribes. So still, we had many other tribes. Rovers, Judes, barbarians, Vikings, Danes, Scandinavians, and etc. Mercian, Mercian. Please remember the names of the tribe. The tribe name has been asked. Frisian पे question आ चुका है, Mercian पे question है, Judes पे question है. Now see what happens. Who is the king? Who is the most important, powerful tribe? Anglo-Saxon. So by 650, all these tribal kings, all these tribal rulers, they started obeying and accepting the Anglo-Saxon king as their king. Edward the Confessor became the king of Anglo-Saxons, a strong nation. So in many books that you read, or the books which are written by Indian authors, they say that it is 650 because 450 to 650, there is a lot to read and research, but sometimes people don't do. This is how it starts by 650. Now, we have talked about 450, we have talked about 650. Another important thing we have here is, now what is 650 to 1066? Again, very important thing. Remember, Anglo-Saxon, you have to study like this. In 1066, Normans attacked Anglo-Saxons. So please remember, what is this 1066? In 1066, this is called Battle of Hastings. Multiple questions in exam, multiple questions. English literature का कोई भी एग्जाम हो, you're preparing for NET, you're preparing for CUET, you're preparing for any other entrance exam, PGT, DSSB or any competitive exam, ये question सबसे ज्यादा पूछा जाता है. One of the most important and game-changing historical event in English literature. 1066, Battle of Hastings, also called Norman Conquest, also called Norman Conquest. Now see this, Battle of Hastings and Norman Conquest. Point is, this 1066 is a timing when the Normans came to England and now Anglo-Saxons will fight with Normans. How many of you alive? Okay, so that's you enjoying. Battle of Hastings, Norman Conquest, both are same thing, and I'm repeatedly telling you, be it UPPGT, DSSB, KV exam, NET, CUET-PG, any public service commission exam. If you're studying British history, English literature, this is the first and the most important date that you must remember at every cost. ये आपको सब याद होना चाहिए. अब देखो क्या होता है. अब इस कहानी को डिस्कस करेंगे. Now we'll talk about the story. What happened? Why the Normans got attacked? Now we are dealing with Norman Conquest. Norman Conquest, one of the most important event in British history, took place in 1066 when Normans who came from Normandy area, France. Normandy means in a territory in France. They attacked Anglo Saxons. Now, the story behind this is that Anglo Saxon king Edward, he's called Edward the Confessor. He had a friendship with William the Conqueror. Anglo Saxon king Edward had a friendship with William of Normandy. They had a friendship. Now, Edward, when he died, after the death of Edward, Harald Harada became the king of Anglo Saxons. So, after the death of Edward, Harald Harada. Please remember the name of the kings. You're preparing for competitive exams. After the death of Anglo-Saxon king Edward, Harald Harada became the king. But as you know the politics, Harald Harada got killed by Harold Godwinson. Harold Godwinson. Now it is said that Harald Harada was a true legitimate successor, but Harold Godwinson was a kind of, illegitimate son. So brother killed brother to become the king. Harold Godwinson killed Harald Harada. Please remember Harold and Harald. Don't be confused. And he became the king. When he became the king, by killing Harald Harada, the friend of Edward, William the Conqueror, didn't like it. So he was a good friend, he was a true friend. He didn't like it. And he said that either you leave the throne or we will fight. Now, Anglo Saxons were also strong. Normans were very strong. Normans were from France. These people were very strong. So Harold didn't listen to him. And this was the reason that William the Conqueror came with a huge army in 1066. The battle took place around the area called Hastings. It's actually a river area. That's why it is called Battle of Hastings. Now, do you know who won this battle? Harold and William the Conqueror. They were fighting. Harold was strong and William was somehow, see, both of them were strong. Both of them were strong. But somehow William was feeling like this, that we may lose. William was an old man, an experienced person. He played a trick. All the new students who are watching it first time, see this. William the Conqueror played the trick. What was the trick? William the Conqueror and a group of his soldiers, they started beating drums and started celebrating the victory. They were like, हाँ जी बल्ले बल्ले जीत गए भंगड़ा पाओ डांस करो जीत गए. And they started playing DJ song, करेंगे party shardy and all. Everybody was like, what happened? They started shouting, we have killed Harold. Harold is dead. We have killed Harold. Let's celebrate. The soldiers of Harold, when they saw the celebration, the drum beatings, they got shocked that our king is dead. What are we fighting for? ये बंदा सैलरी देता होगा. अब जब सैलरी देने वाला मर गया तो तुम्हारा सैलरी पीएफ तो सब फंस जाएगा, तो क्यों लड़ोगे? तो सारे सैनिकों ने भागना शुरू कर दिया. Harold used to pay this money to the soldiers. When the soldiers saw that Harold has been killed, enemy is celebrating, they started fleeing away, running away. They left the battlefield. So when the army of Harold started running away, leaving the battlefield, Harold, he went on a high area, high side, upside, and removed his helmet, the protector, the armor helmet, the iron one. He removed his helmet to show his face. Jawano, मैं यही हूं, मरा नहीं हूं मैं अभी. So when Harold went to the high place, removing his helmet to tell people that Harold abhi jinda hai, William the Conqueror had another group of soldiers who were archers, tirandaz. And the archers was told that the moment Harold uncovers himself, shows his face, shoot him. The archers targeted Harold from all the sides. Imagine 100 people are leaving the arrow, targeting the arrow at you. How many arrows you can dodge? कितने dodge करोगे? 1, 2, 4. One arrow penetrated his eye, went out through his head, like it just pierced the head. आंख से लगा, यहां से निकला. Harold died immediately. William the Conqueror, in a very historical event, defeated Anglo Saxons, and this is how the Anglo Saxons got a new tribe together, Normans, Anglo Saxon and Normans. Now, as they were strong cultures, Anglo Saxon was a native culture. Who came to which area? Or who came to whose area? They left their place to come to this place. They were already at their place. They came, they were the invading army, they were the approaching people, marching people. That's why, as Anglo Saxons were the native, Normans started mixing up with them, and now they are collectively called Anglo Saxon. So, when you talk about the proper Anglo Saxon timings, that can be taken 450 to 1340. कोई आपसे पूछे 650 to 1340, 1066, तो बोलना विनीत सर ने पढ़ाया है. We know what is 450, we know what is 650, we know what is 1066 and the other things. Anglo-Saxons and Anglo-Normans. You can separately study them as Anglo-Normans as the part of cultural study. You can also study them as Anglo-Saxons. This is the historical narrative dealing with the chronological standards. Many of you were confused about 450, 650 and Norman conquest. I believe you have got the idea, you have understood this. Now, let's talk about the important literary phenomena. What kind of literature was here? अब literary standards की बात करते हैं. As I'm teaching alone, so I have to see the screen also again and again. Okay, fine. Now, let's talk about the literary standards, literary phenomena. The most important and remarkable thing here we have is King Arthur. King Arthur. Arthurian legends, Arthurian cycle are one of the most frequent thing in Anglo-Saxon age. King Arthur or Arthurian cycle. Now, what is the story of King Arthur? King Arthur is believed to be the ideal gentleman having 24 virtues. What is virtue? A good quality. How many good qualities you can count? Honest, loyal, punctual, disciplined, and okay, now it is a homework. Be honest, be honest. If anybody can count more than 10 qualities, write it. And if anybody can actually remember 24 ideal qualities of a gentleman, write it in the comments. Come on, let's see that. So it is said that King Arthur was the greatest human being, epitome of mankind. इसे क्या बोला जाता है? Epitome of mankind, मानवता की मिसाल. Just like Philip Sidney. So, King Arthur having 24 ideal qualities, when he got married, King Arthur got married to a lady called Guinevere. King Arthur got married to a lady called Guinevere. When he got married to her, Guinevere, in a dowry gift, or we can simply say wedding gift, because I don't think अंग्रेजों में dowry चलता है. I don't know if the foreigners also have the dowry system. So you can either call it a wedding gift or a dowry gift. In dowry, Guinevere brought 12 knights. What was the dowry gift? 12 knights. These 12 knights were perfect in 12 qualities. Every knight had a quality. 12 knights, 12 virtues. Every knight had a quality: chastity, friendship, justice, courtesy, holiness, right? These 12 knights are called round table. So King Arthur and his round table. Who are the round table? What is round table? 12 knights brought by Queen Guinevere as a dowry gift. These 12 knights had a quality that they all had 12 virtues, each for one, all of them. King Arthur with 24 ideal gentleman qualities, knights with 12 qualities. Now, let's talk about the story. So, what happens here? Uh, I hope you have taken the screens. You can take the screenshots, you can just write down. Because of my throat, I somewhere I'm not able to put that energy maybe. Now what happens? See, when King Arthur became the king, when King Arthur he became the king, the devils they spilled the blood of the saints, the good people, the blood of the saints on his land. His land was cursed. His kingdom was cursed. So devils cursed his land. Just like some Ramayana reference. It is a story of Ramayana that Ravan used to take the blood of the saints, ऋषि मुनियों का खून इकट्ठा करता था, and it collected and compiled and it became Sita. Just like that, the devils had the blood of the saints, and that blood was thrown and spread it over the kingdom of Arthur. So the land became unproductive. The agriculture, it would have great famine, drought, no water. The land became infertile. Now everybody was suffering. King Arthur didn't know what's the reason. King Arthur meets Tiresias. Very important character, my dear students. Please remember, Tiresias is a blind fortune teller. Blind fortune teller. Who is Tiresias? A blind man who can tell you your fortune. Very important character. First time appears in King Arthur. He's also the narrator of Wasteland. Tiresias appears in Oedipus the Rex. हर जगह पे आता है ये, तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टर है, भूलना नहीं. Tiresias tells King Arthur that your land has been cursed and you must purify your land by bringing the blood of Jesus Christ, Holy Grail. वो कहता है काम करो, अगर सब ठीक करना है, if you want to purify all these things, get the blood of Jesus Christ. That is Holy Grail. What is Holy Grail? A theory that there is when Jesus Christ was crucified. So the disciples of Jesus Christ collected the blood which was spilling out. So they collected the blood of the Christ, and now that is the purest thing, but nobody knows where is it. It is, and it is believed that it lies in the center of the earth. So at the exact center of the earth, Tiresias says, "Go, Arthur, find Holy Grail." Now here, I'll tell you the confusions in King James Bible 1611 edition. The Holy Grail has been called a pot where Jesus Christ had his last wine. So the Bible has the idea that Holy Grail has last wine. So what is Holy Grail? A mug or a jug in which Jesus Christ had his last wine. That is Bible's reference. King James Authenticated Bible 1611. Now, if we say it is the last wine, then we also say, literary books say it is blood, which is actually right. So this is my research. That's my understanding. If you have read Christopher Marlowe, Dr. Faustus, when Dr. Faustus has committed his crime, he has taken the power of 24 years, he has done all the wrong things, and now he's going to die. The last moment has come. He says, a drop of blood, even a half drop of blood would save my life. Which drop of blood he is talking about, asking about? The Holy Grail thing. A drop of blood, a half drop of blood would save my life. Ah, Mephistopheles, don't come. No, come, come, hells, fall on me, save me from the wrath of Mephistopheles. Go away. That reference. So go for blood only. King Arthur starts his journey to find out. And in his journey, he comes across many issues, problems of the people. He solves them. He goes to a village, kills the demon, finds a clue, goes to another journey. So, in short, he's roaming around, roaming around. His travels, his roaming around, his journey has been written as Arthurian legendary cycle. So, in Anglo Saxon, most of the stories are actually related to Arthur's wanderings. Now the important thing, Thomas Mallory, Thomas Mallory, who wrote Morte d'Arthur, who wrote Morte d'Arthur, is the first person who compiled all the Arthurian legendary stories. Thomas Mallory, Morte d'Arthur. Morte d'Arthur, he compiled all the Arthurian cycles. Tennyson has written Idylls of the King on the same story. Idylls of the King by Tennyson. And a lot of other works are dealing with Arthur stories. Now, what happens? Arthur returns. He finally finds Holy Grail. Last में आर्थर को होली ग्रेल मिल जाता है. When he returns, he finds out that his wife Guinevere has formed an affair with one of the round table called Lancelot. जब वो वापस आता है तो वो देखता है कि उसकी जो वाइफ गनीवर है, she has formed an affair with Lancelot, a round table member. His wife has formed an affair with Lancelot. It was a system at that time that if two people are claiming one woman, suppose two lovers falling in same love with same girl, they would handle it bravely with a chivalry. They would fight. They would challenge each other for a duel and for a sword fight, and the one who would survive would win the girl. So Arthur and Lancelot, they fight. Arthur and Lancelot, they fight. Where Arthur gets badly injured. Arthur, क्या होता है Arthur के साथ? Injured हो जाता है. Lancelot was a warrior. Now, when he is injured, Lancelot doesn't kill him and leaves him away because he didn't want to kill King Arthur. He is also a good man, a round table knight. When Arthur is injured, this is the time his own illegitimate son, Mordred, comes. Mordred always wanted to take revenge from his father. Mordred finds the opportunity that Arthur is injured. This is the time to kill. Arthur gets killed by his own illegitimate son, Mordred. Question of net exam. क्वेश्चन आया था आर्थर को कौन मारता है. बहुत सारे लोगों ने गलती कर दी. They missed it, but Mordred, his own illegitimate son, kills King Arthur. इसके बाद और बहुत सारी स्टोरी है. There is another story, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. I'll read this for you. There another story we have from Arthurian cycle. For my own double JRF preparation, I read 20 plus stories. जब मैं खुद अपनी डबल JRF प्रिपरेशन कर रहा था ना, तो मैंने 20 से ज्यादा कहानी पढ़ी थी. सर गुवाइन एंड द ग्रीन नाइट. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. This is again a famous story dealing with the round table. A muscular green man comes in the court of King Arthur, challenges everyone for a fight. He says, I challenge you, fight me. Dam hai to aa jao. But when everybody is ready to fight, he says, I have a condition. My condition is, I allow you to hit me first. You hit me first. Aap mujhe maro, hit me. But if I didn't die, I will hit you back. So he says, let's make it simple. You hit me. If I survive, I hit you back. And I give you a chance, you hit me first. Everybody got nervous. The confidence, the aura, attitude, they all got scared. Sir Gawain comes. I will challenge you. I'll accept you. Sir Gawain tries to kill him. Nothing happens. Now his turn comes. Here I'll stop the story. Homework है. इसके आगे स्टोरी मैंने क्लासेस में कई बार पढ़ाई है. This is your homework. It will also show me that you are studying. ये पढ़ना है, तैयारी करनी है. Tell me the story. Now, there is a news for all the students. CUET PZ ऑनलाइन बैचेस स्टार्ट हो चुके हैं. यू कैन ज्वाइन. आपका 11 मार्च को एग्जाम है. यू कैन ज्वाइन फ्रेश बैच ऑफ यूजीसी नेट. 15 दिसंबर को स्टार्ट हुआ था, बंद होने वाला है, खत्म होने वाला है. यू कैन ज्वाइन. इफ यू लव द वे आई टीच, आज थोड़ा गला खराब था वैसे, एंड इफ यू वांट टू लर्न लाइक दिस, आई डोंट यूज स्लाइड्स, I don't take material. I teach the lecture in my way. एंड दैट्स हाउ आई हैव गॉट 10 नेट। अगर आपको लगता है कि मुझे भी पढ़ना है उस आदमी से जिसने लाइन लगा दी है नेट जेआरएफ की, 10 नेट, 2 जेआरएफ और दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, अगर पढ़ना है तो सीयूईटी पीजी का फ्रेश बैच स्टार्ट होने वाला है, यूजीसी नेट का फ्रेश बैच स्टार्ट हो गया है, दोनों के लिए आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं। और अगर आप में से किसी को भी ऑफलाइन बैच, दिल्ली का यूजीसी नेट का ऑफलाइन बैच घर पे चाहिए, ऑफलाइन बैच, दिल्ली का क्लासरूम ऑफलाइन बैच अगर घर पे चाहिए, तो हमारा पेन ड्राइव कोर्स स्टार्ट हो चुका है। पेन ड्राइव कोर्स आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं। ऑफलाइन क्लासेस जो दिल्ली में होती हैं वो घर पे मिलेंगी। यू विल गेट द क्लासेस ऑफ ऑफलाइन एट योर होम। व्हाट टू डू? सिंपल, WhatsApp on this number. As it is Sunday, I have this number with me. I will answer your queries. WhatsApp me on this number for CUTPZ, for NET, for UPSC, for anything. And next class, I will go with all the important literary works of Anglo Saxons. Feel free to share, like and subscribe. Thank you so much दोस्तों। इसी तरह से पढ़ते और पढ़ाते रहेंगे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।